women, we are constantly fighting to be seen as equals in our relationships, in work, in society, always a fight. And while we've made strides, our fight for equality is far from over, which brings me to the question of the day. Are we living out antiquated notions when it comes to men and money, especially if we want to be equal in our relationships? Ladies, I want to hear from you.
So I don't think that we are living out. I think we're growing out, and we're seeing that because Twitter, Black Twitter especially, has been talking about $200 dates for like the last 7 years.
Oh my
you
God.
know? So this conversation around men, women, and money, we've been having it, and I think that the more we get into our bags, the more it comes to the surface.
Yeah, and I think the conversations around 50-50 is now a big topic because we have popularity around songs, you know, from the City Girls, and it's like, cash at me, or can you pay my bills?
Right.
Now, it's coming from a place where women, I think that we've had to overcompensate a lot. So now we're like, I need someone to fill my cup over, but I think when it comes to the 50-50 aspect, I'm not opposed to 50-50 because I just feel like we're two individuals, two humans. We both have things that we want to do individually.
Yeah.
So when you contribute to a pot, that leaves room for individuality.
What you think, Jessie?
I'm not for the 50-50. I feel like even though I'm doing great for myself, I still want to feel like a damsel in distress when I come home. Like, so I want you to pay all the bills, like I do. And I want you to do all the, I don't know, the manly things, like fix shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, come to my rescue when things are going wrong in the house. And although I am like a leader in the workplace, when I come home, I'm a cook, I'm a clean. Like, I will be submissive to my man if my man is a man and he's doing what he's supposed to do. So back to the
That's
whole
a little
50
cringy.
I don't know.
Wait. Can I put an asterisk?
Yeah,
Okay,
what's the asterisk?
The asterisk.
For this girl, I was almost down for what she was saying, but yeah, this girl. Why are you talking to a man that is not a man? If you don't consider the man a man, do not talk to him. If in your mind you say that you could only submit to a man that if you say in your mind that you could only submit to a male that you consider to be a man, if you're dating someone and you recognize that they're not what you consider a man, stop talking to them. Why move in and live with them and you don't consider them a man? Do not commit to someone until you until they show you what you desire in a partner. So if you're a female and you're looking for someone who is a man and he does not show you the qualities of a man, the characteristics of a man, leave him alone. Go on 1 or 2 dates. If he doesn't show it, if you don't see it, you don't hear it through conversation, leave him alone, move on to someone else. If you're a male, you're going to date with a female that does not carry herself and conduct herself as a lady should, leave her alone. And as it pertains to 50-50, I believe that if I'm dating you, it's gonna be 50-50, especially if you believe that you're a strong, independent black woman don't need a man. If you have that mindset and you look as if you are a strong black independent woman that don't need a man, it's going to be 50-50. And the reason for why I believe in 50-50 is because I need you, just like I'm proving myself to you, you have to prove yourself to me. I need you to show me that your money is not just gonna be for you and my money for you. Because if I'm dating you, I'm not gonna spend all my money and then you leave, you save up your money and spend all my money, you leave, and now I'm in a hole while you're able to save your money. If you're interested in me and I'm interested in you, both of us have to put something together. If your money does not go towards anything for me, you're not for me.
Right there, my answer is that. Oh, when it comes to that, I do like you to fall into some roles, because if I be like, okay, you know how to do
She's not
this
gonna
grill,
cook the food,
you
she's
know
gonna
how to take out
prep it.
garbage,
No, that's real.
and
She's not gonna
I'm
cook,
prep the
she's
food
gonna
though,
prep.
and let me be a woman and I'll let you be a
Prep
man.
and cook is different.
Yeah.
Two separate things.
In certain areas.
It's a little
Yeah.
old school, but yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
like.
Does it change or does it make a difference if it's dating versus shacking up versus marriage?
You sound like my mama talk about shacking up.
I know, right?
Lord.
You
Well,
can tell I'm
I
honest.
feel like this, right? These conversations need to be had during dating. And I think what happens is, people are dating and we're missing the point of what dating really is. Dating is like, hey, what's your expectations?
Yep. What do you-
What's your capacity? That's the main thing that we miss, because if your expectations are here and someone's capacity is here, now when you get into the more serious phase, all that space in between is disappointment, right? So if we bring down or up our expectations to meet the capacity, then we don't have no surprises. So if I'm dating someone right now, right, and I'm like, hey, this is what I want.
Right.
I'm gonna always make money because that's who I am. But if you got it, I want you to take care of everything, and your money is our money and my money is my money. Now, if he says yes, we lit. But if I'm not saying that and
Yeah.
I'm just playing City Girl songs extra loud, hoping that he hears it, and then when the marriage comes or the real relationship comes, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're not
Right.
money bag
Bills.
yo at me, I can't be mad because I didn't say what I wanted.
Yeah.
So, while I might not agree with your money, and my money, your money, I agree with everything else. When you're dating, is to find out what you want from the person, what the person is going to offer you. Both of you come to an agreement. This is what I have. This is what I'm offering. This is what I want. This is what I'm offering. And you either accept it or walk away from it. If you accept it and you get into marriage, when you get into marriage, there should be no surprise. Before you get married, you should reveal yourself totally and completely before you get married. If you can't reveal yourself truly and completely, if you can't be naked in front of a person emotionally, be your true self, you should not get married to anyone. And I'm not gonna pay for your bills if you're not my wife. My wife is the only person bills that I should be paying. Because we're one. Your bills are my bills are your bills. If you don't want to contribute to, so this is how I view things. If you don't want to contribute to any bills, don't work, go in the kitchen, and I'll go to work and pay all the bills.
You gotta set a precedent. I get that. I get that.
I don't know. I agree with that, and I feel like so many different viewpoints can be valid at the same time.
Yes.
Like, so sometimes I feel when it comes to the 50-50 conversation, it's like, no, you need to see it this way. No, you should see it this
Yes.
way. It's like, do whatever works for you, right? However, just know, I feel like when you show a man that you want to do, like, if you give a man an inch, he's gonna take a mile. So I like sometimes when you do, I could do my part, babe. I could do this. Sometimes then he'll look at you and be like, well, what more can you do? Like, I feel like I've met that before. So my expectations when it comes to relationships is, you know what? You do this over here. I do this when it comes to the finances, period. Other than that, we can come in the middle with other things.
No.
You
that's
know what
very
I will
real.
say? I will not do 50-50. Okay, maybe sometimes. I don't do 50-50 on dates. If you taking me out as a man, you pay for my date.
Period.
I don't
And
care. And even if you did get a Groupon, or I don't care, don't let me see it, or whatever, do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But if you're taking me out, I expect you to pay.
That's a
And I'm
non-negotiable.
not gonna fake grab my
Yeah.
wallet either.
Yeah. No, that's a
just expect you to
non-negotiable.
pay.
I
Looking
will
at
say,
So, yeah, I don't agree with that fake grabbing wallet. Because if I'm paying, if I have my cash on the table and you reach for your wallet, I'm gonna double gear you. I'm gonna put my money back up, and you're gonna pay. My money's gonna go back in my wallet. You're gonna pay. You reach for your wallet. You said, "Oh, I got this." You wait. If you say you got it, you better got it. You better make sure you have it. You're not gonna fake grab to show me, because That has been done and tried, and I have been fooled. My eyes has been open. That is no longer working. You grab your wallet, you pay. So I do agree in a certain sense, but I don't think it should be 50-50 on a date. I think it should be 50-50 within the relationship, but on a date, if I invite you out, I'll pay for the date. If you invite me out, if you take me out, you pay for the date. Because I want to see dating is supposed to be a preview to marriage. How are you going to treat me when we get married? Am I going to be the one that's shelling out everything? Because if you're working, you have money. Where's your money going? If you're married and you have money, your money is not going to the family. What are you doing with it? Why are you saving up rainy day money? Where are you planning to go? So your money has to be spent on me, my money spent on you. I'm not saying you have to do 50-50 down the middle. Just saying, if you're not spending money on me, then why are we together if you're working?
Now, things
If you're not
happen.
working
so if my man loses his job or
and
something
we're in a
happens,
relationship,
he puts all
I'm
his
fine with
Bitcoin and
helping
something
you
and it
out.
goes down.
But if you're
I'm
working,
not going to continue
no.
to put the pressure on him to pay for everything.
50-50.
Or even go 50-50. So but I'm just saying, if the man feels from jump that there's this expectation and then something happens, this is when people start being dishonest. They don't want to let you down because you're so used to a certain lifestyle. So I think this, right? If you got it, boo, get it and do it. If you don't got it, let's communicate and then we can do it together. But I don't think there should ever be pressure on one person only in a relationship to handle everything. It's unfair.
That is true. That is my belief. There should not be pressure on one person in a relationship. And again, my belief is grounded in Christianity. And the Bible says the two shall become one. So if the two of us become one, there's no more yours and there's no more mine. In terms of mine, there's no more yours and there's no more mine. It's ours. So everything pulls together and works for the family. So your money is our money, my money is our money. Go together and better the family as a whole.
Yes, that's a word, okay? Make sure your relationships are in abundance. So let's go ahead and get into this next segment. This episode is titled Money, Power, and Respect. All three of these very important things affect the dynamics of a relationship differently, If a man makes all of the money and bears a financial responsibility in a relationship, how much power is a woman giving up? If a woman is the breadwinner, do you think the power and respect lines start to blur? Let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty.
Well, I will say, when men ain't got no money, that's when the problems occur in a relationship. Because society has taught men that they need to be providers, that they need to be financially equipped, and they need to do all these things, that some of which we mentioned. And when they do not have that money, they feel less of a man. And then that's when the respect and the lines start to blur, because now, as the woman, if you have somehow become the breadwinner, you find yourself trying to make him feel better as a man, because now he's feeling less than. And that's when a whole bunch of tension starts to happen. So they don't have no money, not just speaking figuratively like, oh, you ain't got no money to take me out. But when they aren't in that place, their manhood is severely affected, and then the relationship becomes strained.
The ego starts popping out.
The ego
Is the enemy.
So I dislike when people say society is because of society. No, it's not because of society, it's because of people. Who is society? What is society? Society is a group of people. You are part of society. So when you say society, you are part of the problem. You just said that if you're dating a guy, if the guy invites you out on a date, you expect for him to pay. You expect for him to pay the majority of the bills in the relationship, in a marriage. So, yes, if you expect and demand and require for him to pay majority of the bills, you expect and require for him to pay the mortgage, the rent, the light, the water, and you just provide for the food. Yes, if you just said that you want to give willingly and not being forced or pressured into giving. So it's not society, it's a you thing. It's not society. People need to stop blaming society. Because in today's day and age, in society, the roles are pretty equal. How society portray everything is pretty equal. Individually, in relationship or in a family, things can be different. Some families are traditional, some families are modern. So, it's not society, it's a youth, it's an individual. Oh boy. I don't know. Oh well, let's get going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel that if a man is in a certain financial state, there are just certain women you shouldn't be aiming for. Like, that's just my belief. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
the IG girl models.
yeah, that ain't for you. Come on now. Like, nowadays, what we're seeing is nowadays, women are the new men. Like, when women go out.
She is 100% correct. Nowadays, the strong, independent women don't need a man, are trying to become the new man. And that's why they're so stressed out and depressed. But let's go back to the question. In a relationship, if a man loses his job, it is going to be natural, and a man that is worth his salt is going to get a little bit depressed because he can't provide for his family. And that is perfectly okay for a man to feel bad not being able to provide for his family. That means that he's going to do everything in his power to get back to the place where he can provide for his family. If I have a daughter, if I should ever have a daughter, I would not let her marry a man that is okay with not being able to provide for his family. My dad, while I may not have the best relationship with my dad, my dad is someone that works his butt off for his family. He literally gets sick if he does not work for a couple of days. He's now retired and he's finding projects to do around the house every day. He's doing little projects at other people's house because he can not work. He has to work. My grandma is the same. My grandma has to work. She's miserable not working. But that's beside the point. If my dad ever loses a job, it was never a problem in the house. The house did not go upside down. I've never heard my sisters that was raised and brought up with my parents said that the house was turned upside down. Anything happened, the dynamics, the power, there was never a power shift in the house because my mom recognized that my dad is the man of the house. Regardless of what he makes, he's still the man, he's still the authority figure of the house. So she didn't belittle him because he didn't work. If he can't work, then she go and get a job, and then when he's working, she could be more relaxed and do whatever is needed to be done within the house. So there's only a power shift and fighting and contention in the house if that woman make that man feel like he's garbage for not being able to provide for the family. If you as a woman make the man feel like he's garbage, that's not right. But the man should feel bad naturally. You want your man to feel bad not being able to provide for his wife.
Like, we eat like drug dealers, like we're spending a lot of money, right? And then like you have instances where you've gone out with a man and he looking at you because you on the third appetizer and you know he's sweating because you know you got your third drink and it's like you ain't even get to the main dish yet. It's like, no sir.
This is how I eat with my girls.
This is how I eat with my girls. Like I hate.
You're not with your girls. You're not with your girls. You're on a date to get to know me, not a date to fill your belly. You're not on a date to fill your belly. You're on a date to get to know me. So you should be talking rather than filling your belly. You should be talking and getting to know me, not to run my pocket dry, to bleed my pocket dry. But me, my sisters, whenever we go on dates, we eat before we go on a date. We don't fill our bellies. We make sure that we're not full so that we could eat on a date. But both me and my sisters, we eat at the house, then go on a date, we get something light, we eat, and we get to know the person that we're on a date with. Because that's the purpose of the date, to get to know the person. If you want to eat as if you're with your friends, you're going to pay as if you're with your friends. You're not coming on this date to get a dinner from me or get lunch from me. That's not the purpose of the date. I'm not your dinner date.